the broadcasters has instructed a barrister to investigate the circumstances of Schofield's departure from this morning amid serious allegations there was a cover-up.
The external review is expected to take months. Yeah, it could take days, actually. And could see Schofield grilled about his affair. I thought they'd already done that. I thought they'd already asked him with a much younger colleague. And that's everyone is going to be questioned, everyone that worked there. So that'd be our very own Eamon Holmes.
Yeah.
And Ruth, and obviously Holly.
Yeah.
Everyone will be asked what they knew about what when.
Yeah. And,
by a barrister.
Who will be fiercely independent.
Yes.
Well, we're joined now by a partner at Howard Kennedy law firm, Alex Watt, with his thoughts on this. Alex, was this an inevitable thing for ITV to do, to at least try and close down the relentless headlines day after day? At least they now seem to be on the front foot and are trying to get to the bottom of it.
Well, they certainly tried to avoid it, didn't they? When they were first asked whether or not they thought the investigation, the small investigation they'd already taken, was a good one, they said yes. I think really what's driven this is the fact that they were due to be in front of the Culture, Media and Sports Committee next week, together with some other broadcasters, and that's been rearranged so that the MPs can grill them on this particular incident. And of course, if the MPs didn't like what they heard, then the MPs could have instigated their own investigation. Now, if you're going to be investigated, it is much better to be investigated by an independent barrister, but where you are still the client, than an investigation that has been instigated by somebody or other else. So I think this is partly ITV trying to head that off at the pass.
And how would a barrister go about launching an investigation into this? Can you just tell us briefly what steps this would involve?
Well, the barrister will have instructions from his client, so a little bit of it will depend upon what he's asked to investigate, and that's slightly the point of getting him to do it. But with that said, ITV and the barrister will know that it needs to be a thorough investigation to put this to bed. So as I heard you saying earlier on, he is going to have to look at all the evidence. I mean, part of the issue with the story is that we haven't really known what the story is. We know that there was another person involved, that they were very young at one stage. We don't know what happened when. And I think in order to establish just how bad Phillip Schofield's actions were, the timeline and that sort of thing will need to be investigated in some detail. And in order to do that, he's going to have to speak to everyone to find out what they knew.
Alex, some people watching this may think, look, no public money involved, it's not the BBC after all. Schofield is insisting the relationship was inappropriate but not illegal. So therefore, what is the public interest in this?
I know what you mean. The reality is it's a salacious news story, and the British love one of those, so there is going to be an element of it. But the more that comes out, the more it does look a little bit like there may have been use of a power imbalance. Grooming is a relatively new offence, but it is an offence, and it does extend beyond 16 to 18, and in fact, beyond that in circumstances where someone is vulnerable. One of the things that has sort of largely been implied here is that the other person involved may have been vulnerable, and in those circumstances, it could be a very serious thing indeed. And in those circumstances, I think it probably is right to be properly investigated.
And just one final quick question. If a barrister investigating this did come across anything that was illegal, would they have a duty to then report it to the police?
Well, for a start, ITV have said that this is going to be an independent investigation. Quite how independent remains to be seen. But it would be, I think, impossible for them not to do that. But yes, I think that is what they would do.